Hey guys, welcome back to another wonderful podcast for BRG. I'm your host, Warp Jester, and my wonderful co-host...
Kirak. Hello, guys.
How's it going, Kirak? How's life?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Pretty good so far.
Really? That's what you said earlier?
Yeah, it's always good.
Oh, okay. Had not been good for me. I'm going to apologize up front, guys. If I'm clearing my throat, coughing, wheezing, or dying, it's because I've been borderline dead this past week. I've had a nasty cold that has lingered and festered and been all kinds of problems, so I apologize in advance. Luckily, Kirak, however, is in perfect form and health, so he will carry us through the podcast. Right, Kirak?
You got it. Not a problem.
Tall order, I know. So as usual, guys, we're gonna be bolting through the headlines here. We'll do our speed bits, and then we got a couple of meaty bites to talk about, and we'll kind of dive into this a little deeper and see what there is to talk about. So that said, I'm gonna dive right into the news. Anyways, so right at the top, we got the new Zelda may have multiple endings. So if you're a big Zelda fan, kudos, you'll have lots of stuff to do, and that'd probably be a good thing so you can kill some time until there's actually more content for the Switch.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a while. It's going to be like crickets in the background. So Resident Evil joins the plethora of games. Well, I don't think it's actually a plethora of Microsoft's ambitious Play Anywhere program. The game's scary enough as it is. I don't think Capcom has to do that.
Well, yeah, that's great. Capcom's going to be having, Play Anywhere capacity on some of his games, because they also said, oh, yeah, by the way, that's not going to be coming for the Switch, so sorry. Which, this is going to be a running trend. I'm just going to tell you guys right now.
Yeah, it is, because you know who else said the same thing? CEO at Gearbox goes, no, Borderlands 3, don't expect it on the Switch.
Yeah. Knife goes in, knife goes out. Oh, knife goes back in, because players of Rocket League, they may not be coming to the Switch either. Oh,
no, I know. It's like right off the bat, and I've seen it before with the Wii U, I think it was. Anyways,
yeah, this is setting themselves up for a real bad time.
So, PC gaming has made a ton of money in 2016. Revenue hits about $30 billion. So is PC gaming actually dead?
No! And I just want to point out here on the graph, the biggest chunk of revenue they're showing is the high-end games.
Oh, really?
This is not mom and pop just, buying an e-machine. Just
it's all the VR that's skyrocketed.
Honestly, I wonder if it is. So some unfortunate leakage coming out. The possibility that the Project Scorpio specs may not be doing 4K like they were touting, or at least not true 4K in the truest sense. There's been a lot of back and forth about that. They're saying some games may be independent titles, maybe not. But basically set itself up to be not as quite butch, over the PS4 hoopty. So.
PS4 Pro, yeah, okay. Well, right there with the Switch, I guess. Okay, Japan. They just had like another influx of stock for PSVR, and people just lined up like crazy.
Lined up around the block.
Yeah, who says who says VR is dead?
I think it's just getting started.
Yeah, man. It's yeah.
Likely what is dead, however, is GTA Online.
Oh.
So
really?
there's rumors about that likely GTA downloadable content's going to start petering off until the release of Red Dead, and then at that point it may just stop.
Stop completely. Wow, okay.
Yay, we get a new game and we lose another.
So there's an awesome game on the horizon. It's actually in Kickstarter. You know the movie Apocalypse Now, is it?
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. So they're fighting to get this made into a video game. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. It
I
smells
remember
like
that scene.
victory.
So good. Oh my god.
Not really sure I can make this into a game. I mean, I guess you can make another shooter, war shooter,
Yeah,
but
guaranteed it's going to be a FPS, right? Maybe. I mean,
maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
And on the topic of existing games, there's a ban for Killer Instinct tournaments. They've decided to go ahead and ban teabagging in the game, citing the cause being that at a previous tournament there was a altercation outside of the game as a result of being teabagged. Keep your tea bags in your cups.
Yep. I love tea. I'm a big tea fan, especially in a bag. Video game prices going up? What? So apparently new tariffs in America could impact the prices in the U.S. Oh, that's just going to translate to Canada. I know it. There goes all my money.
There you go, gamers. Now you can blame Trump.
Thanks.
It's bad news all around. But hey, some good news. A study that was actually called Boom Headshot was a study trying to cite that video games actually made people more violent or cause violent actions. And after a review of the findings, I think it's the University of Ohio has decided to recommend redacting the study, citing some inconsistencies with some of the data.
Mm-hmm. Really?
That would be because it's bullshit.
Is it because all the old people are dying off? and all the young people are taking their place? Who are gamers? I wonder.
Either that or the masses got smarter, and I don't think it's the latter, so.
So, China just made VPNs illegal. Just give them Facebook already.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to do that.
Because that's never going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
I think communication with China is going to be dead pretty soon, to be honest with you. But on the bright side, 3D TV is also dead.
Yes.
Yay! Yeah, the last two makers of 3D TVs have announced they are going to no longer be producing 3D TVs. For some strange reason, it just didn't take off. Probably had something to do with the fact that the TVs were active shuttering, which means you have to have really expensive glasses. The TVs only ever came with one or two pairs at most. So the people wanting to watch content was very few. You had to buy extra ones. And there was a complete lack of content to support it. Yeah. Oh, and the quality sucked compared to movie theaters. But I digress.
Yeah,
we need more happy news.
Technology. Happy news? I got some really happy news.
Do it now.
Yes, Alexa joins the future. The Star Trek future, to be exact.
What?
They just added an activation word, and Alexa, his activation word is Alexa, and then she has a few others.
Jesus Christ.
But they just added the word computer.
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 Hello, computer.
Yeah, man, this is amazing. Oh my god. Yeah.
Bravo, Amazon. I've been spiting you more and more lately, but bravo on this one.
Now, if only we could get Alexa to ask before placing the order, and then you might even be able to say, "Make it so."
But can you ask her to make a cup of Earl Grey hot?
Bro, yes.
That's what I want.
Oh my god, I love that.
In other spacey news, Star Wars, Disney has announced the new episode 8 title, which is going to be called The Last Jedi. So for all of you wonderful Star Warsian geeks out there, we have new news, and everybody's already cheering for it. I wonder what's going to happen.
I don't know. I haven't really watched. Don't burn me on this, but I haven't watched Force Awakens, and I haven't watched the other one that just came out.
I'm a breaking news.
Yeah.
There may be an opening for co-hosts on the podcast.
Oh, come on.
No, you know what? I'm still a Trekkie at heart, but I've definitely grown a lot more fond of Star Wars in a lot of respects. So
I gotta get on it
I'm
and start watching.
I'm kind of by sci-fi now.
Yeah. So more news in Star Wars. Woody Harrelson confirms that he's going to play young Han Solo well, I
What?
don't know which movie. I don't know if it's I don't
What?
know if it's this movie coming up or the net or what. But like Woody Harrelson, I don't know if that fits. Do you see that?
No, not even
Yeah.
remotely. I don't even know where to begin. Woody Harrelson, who is I don't know how old he is going to play a young Han
Young
Solo.
version of Han
His
Solo.
personality and mannerisms in movies,
Don't
they're not
jive.
no.
I know. And I was thinking, who would we get to play Chewbacca? Norm?
Jesus Christ.
Norm! You remember.
Yes, no, I wish I didn't,
okay.
but I do.
I went to see the last one they aired in the Sky Dome when it was called the Sky Dome in Canada.
The Sky Dome?
The last episode of Cheers.
Is actually in Sky?
The roof opens.
For a movie theater?
No. It's where the Blue Jays play baseball and they have all kinds of events. It's our main area.
You Canadians are weird.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so last little bit of movie news and the last little bit of our quick bite here is that these little bit of information about the new Logan movie coming out. It's actually going to fit into the alternate timeline of the X-Men saga. So it's not the same. It's not going to be in the same story arc as the other Wolverine movies. So it's gonna be a little different. All the diehard fans will know about the details of this because there's actually two timelines as a result of what is it? How Wolverine changes the past in 2014. So there's a little diversions there. This one follows a different story arc from the comics. So if you're a diehard fan of X-Men comics and Wolverine, this will likely be a new and interesting take. I'm hoping.
I'm
hoping.
Not. I don't mind the X-Men and all that, and the movies are cool, but I don't really follow it very well. So very very deep.
I'm not a comic book nerd. I'm not a huge I love X-Men. Like for me, it's Marvel over DC any day.
Oh yeah, same here.
But I'm more of an armchair type person in that sense. I'm not deep into both of them. But anyways, yeah. So there's that. Anyways, guys. that's the speed bits. And before we get on to the meaty bites, I want to take a quick break here and give a little shout out to the new and improved Ball Rocket Rundown. We're actually doing a monthly rundown now. So in the monthly rundown, you'll actually get an update on what's happening with Ball Rocket Gaming, all the people playing it, what they're up to. We'll be talking about events coming up, so highlights of other elements will be on the YouTube channel, including like the monthly reviews for free play, and even the podcast will be mentioned in there. So little circular love there. No jokes. Just stop right there. I just stop right there. So definitely go over to the well, obviously you're here, but make sure you click on that update and check it out. All right, I'm gonna dive into the meaty bites. And this is we have a couple of articles we usually find in the headlines that we find interesting and we want to dive into a little deeper. So the one I found actually has to do with the Windows 10 update that's going to make games faster, better, stronger, all that good jazz.
Tell me about it.
The reason why I would bring this up, I will tell you about it, actually, Kirok.
Okay,
be enlightening for you. So basically, there was a little bit of a... Well, there's a lot of controversy going on right now about this. So, First of all, to give you an idea and kind of now what's happening here, basically what they're doing is they're doing an update that's supposed to make games run better on Windows 10. This is the creators update that's coming out for Windows 10, and there was an interview with Rock Paper Shotgun that they talked with. Who is it? Kevin Graham Mill. Grammel. He's the partner group program manager. And they were asked us questions about the service. So basically, first off, what is this and what's going on? So Windows 10 update is supposed to make games run better and faster and whatnot. Now, the rumor slash kind of preliminary understanding of it is basically is the system is going to favor the game, if you will, in the system. So it's going to get more CPU cycle, more access to stuff. It's also likely going to suspend or degrade other services running to help free up memory and other services so that the game can be more pronounced, not be so bogged down. Now, in the interview with Rock Paper Scissors, they're talking with Kevin. They said give us the basics of what it is, and basically says is we try to view this is two different lenses, both of which is increased frame rates and performance and whatnot. Also increase the gaming, get a consistent gaming experience. So basically, I want the system to be consistent and reliable, not have your game like lag out when an IM comes in, kind of thing. So a couple questions they brought up. First of all, is this something that will apply to Windows 10 games, all games? And Kevin replies with, I think what you're talking about is will it be compatible with UWP or Windows 32 systems. Now, this is where people may not be aware or understand what they're talking about. So the typical game you install right now is a Win32 install. It's the kind of the default way we do it. But Windows had a new format. It actually came out back in Windows 8. And it's the Universal Windows Platform. And that's a kind of a different format of sorts. It was kind of tied to Windows Store in a sense. There's a whole bunch of debauchery and debaggles that go on with that. And I'll point you to some links if you want to learn more, this article being one of them. But basically, they're two different entities. And he's saying it will support both of those. Okay. So regardless of what it is, it'll work. It'll also be backwards compatible in that you can play really old games like StarCraft 1, and it should help with those as well. And of course,
those as well.
That said,
I was about to ask, like, how does it affect the game developer? Do they have to make like different versions? Do they have to make one that works on everything? I guess it sounds like it's going to work on everything.
Didn't state any kind of obligation to them per se. Again, this is more geared towards tweaking your hardware when the game is running to help favor the game. You think about how your system works. You know, again, if people aren't really savvy with how computers work, even though you've got a browser open, a movie going, a game playing, your IM service up, etc., they're all querying the CPU or GPU with requests to process and whatnot. This is simply going to say, you know what, instead of going in order of every single person gets a turn, we're going to favor the game a little more. I'm not getting into the technicals. I don't fully understand how they do that. They didn't explain exactly how they're doing it, but I would just surmise it's going to give more cycles to the game. That said, one of the issues that is a big concern, this is actually something that Valve cried foul about a while back, was that this is going to degrade other things. And basically what it is Microsoft being the horribly evil Goliath that they are. They're going to just degrade Valve services to the point where they're so buggy that people just give up and go to the Windows Store and buy all their stuff from there. When I first heard about that, it was a whole lot of wah in my mind. That said, in this article, in the comments, there's actually quite a few notes from users noting some issues or questions or concerns. One of which, for example, is I'm wondering how this suspension of background processes, element about it, is going to play, say, with TeamSpeak servers, Steam, Origin, Battle.net, etc. Is it going to degrade them?
I'm a big user of TeamSpeak too, so that does concern me.
Especially people especially us that do game recording with friends. If it starts dropping the quality on these things, that could be a really big concern. So that's an issue, because anything that's a background process will start to be degraded, and if it's a voice service, that could be a problem.
There's a number of ways you could do recordings. You can use different third-party programs like Fraps. There's a whole bunch. I'm using Shadowplay whenever I do my recordings for my channel. If those are background processes and this cuts those out or dumbs them down, that can affect the quality of the video that you create, the sound syncing with the video.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Wow.
Again, if that's the case, now this isn't out in the world in mass yet, so we're not going to see the effects of it till later. But there is that concern, and if that's the case, then Valve nailed on the head when they started crying foul, and that could very well be the case. Because at that point, what do you do as a service provider or program designer? How do you take into account and try to make your system work as a background service and not have it basically just fall to crap and back?
Yeah.
So that's a big concern.
Run Windows 8.
Windows 8 has a service too. One Windows 7.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Go back to 7. Hey, you know what? It could be worse, I'm sure. No, another user also noted already running on Windows Startup, and it says in the background, it says, the thing is, I have to turn it off to make the Steam big picture work properly. So somebody who has the service actively running is already saying, I have to disable the service to get Steam to run properly.
Got it.
Again, these are comments from users in reply to this article. There's no vetting here. I haven't gone and called these people to get a statement from them, so I don't know for certain. I don't actively use the service. I haven't checked it out. I haven't pulled up the interface to even look at it. So I can't tell you because I really haven't experienced it yet. But again, this is a concern.
Is this just a straight update in the OS, or is this something you have to kind of like get like a beta, or is it like
this will be part of the creators update?
The creators update in Windows 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I was saying Windows 8 because I only thought it affected 10. I didn't realize.
Well, so to be clear, this is coming as the Windows 10 update for Creative, but the Universal Windows platform was put out back in Windows 8, and this happens to utilize the Windows Universal Windows platform in that sense. It supports it, I should say. So maybe Windows 8 people won't be affected. I don't know for certain.
Right.
But
there's no way to know.
It just this worries me a little bit because, granted, for the vast majority of users, they just play games,
right,
and they're fine with that. But that said, more and more people are using voice services at the very least. In a lot of games, although they're starting to adapt and have voice services built into the game, it's usually still more convenient or more functional to use a independent voice service because you're in a guild, a group, like Discord, like TeamSpeak.
Yeah, exactly.
But even services that are doing streaming. A lot of people do streaming now for Twitch. You're using OBS or Fraps, whoever, to stream. Yep. Is that going to be degraded? If I'm trying to record a game and record, is that going to get screwed up? Is recording going to go to pot and back? These are things that could be a big deal because although people who actually use recording services or streaming services or whatever are a smaller sect of gamers, they're the most vocal in the fact that they're in front of the gamers. We're the ones that can put our face on screen and show this stuff off. And if this starts going to pot, we're going to be the ones that are going to be screaming at our fans saying, find some way to undo this because it will wreck your day.
They should have some way of making it an optional setting somewhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we want to theorize, if this does actually affect background services like voice services and recording or streaming services, then the first thought that comes to my head and again, I'm not a coder. I don't know anything about how the system works, but my first thought would be you want to have an exceptions box, so to speak. So you have certain services that say, regardless of them being in the background, give them the same status or profile as the game itself. Give them equal share.
Gotcha.
At least that way they have the ability for it. The other thing too is I'm not really sure why they're doing this. I mean, I understand you want to get great game performance, and if you can take a system that might be a little bit underpowered and tweak it a little bit for the game, make the game run better, that's great.
Yeah.
But
look at it from a point of view of people who go out and spend the extra money for a better video card or a high-end CPU. They go out to do that so they can run all those services simultaneously. They want that power to be able to do that. Yeah. And now, even though they went out and spent the money for that higher-end hardware, that higher-end hardware is not going to help because the operating system
is
cuts it
going to
out.
play favorites, yeah. And then the other thing too is that there's a lot of variables here that are questions in my mind. So, for example, when it comes to the aspect of for GPU, when you're playing a game, background services aren't really going to be utilizing the graphics card. So I'm not really sure how they're going to improve that. CPU time, that's a whole nother story. But then we get into the aspect of most people nowadays have at least a dual core, if not a quad core, a 6-core, whatever. And quite frankly, the vast majority of games out there don't really utilize more than one or at best 2 cores anyway. They're not coded to. Is it going to take that into account and not worry about the fact that the 3rd core or 4th core are being used for other services? Or is it going to be dumb and just try to allocate unused CPU basically to the game when it doesn't need it? So there's a lot of questions there I have, and I'm sure we're going to hear more about this and get a little more in depth. But I really feel like just from people's comments already, and the kind of vague response we get from this project manager guy, it really feels like what we're going to see first before anything else is a public outcry and a oops, back to the drawing board and fix. I hate to say it, I don't want to be negative about it, but it really does feel like that they're setting themselves up for disaster. So,
yeah, it's probably exactly what's going to happen.
So there you go. So that said, if you guys have thoughts about this, please let me know. If you know any little tidbits about this, if I missed something valid, if I misspoke on something, please let me know. I love to explore this further because this does affect all of us in that sense. And with Windows 10 kind of doing the push forced updates, you're going to get this whether you like it or not. So just be prepared for that.
In Windows 10, because I'm not using 10, you can't opt out to do the next update that they push through. It's a forced update, right?
It's a forced update, and the updates are all in one now. They're not select. You can't pick which update to put in and which not. So you're going to get everything whether you want to,
no matter what.
So,
wow. Okay.
Which again, I'm not a fanboy by any stretch of imagination, but in defense of Microsoft, I have had no major issues with Windows 10. It has run really well. I like the new layout and the format of it. It's been really good to me. I do really hate the forced updates, but that's only because it forces me to have a good habit of updating my PC. Otherwise, I won't get around to it when I really should. I have a bunch of tabs open on things, or I'm right in the middle of something, and I've pushed it off as far because hey, I need to restart. You can say push it off, push it off, push it off, but there's a point where it's gonna say, I'm restarting now. Piss off. And that's it. You're done. The computer will restart right in front of you.
Yeah.
It sounds horrible, but the fact of the matter is, it's given me plenty of prompting, and it's asked me 4 or 5 times, please, can I do this? Please give me. It's like, give me a time when you're not here, and I'll do it then. And it's like, no, I've got tabs open. I don't want to lose this. So I mean, it's one thing, and it's a big complaint for me, but it's getting me in a better habit of updating my system. My system will stay on 24/7 for months at a time, out of date and vulnerable. So.
But I do my updates as they come up. I just can't believe how many updates come up.
Yes, and you do backups properly, and good for you. You're a good little Canadian. You are what we call an exception to the rule.
I got to go back up the Minecraft server soon. Never mind. I'll do that after.
And then lightning strikes, and then everything's done.
Cool. Okay.
So there you go.
I like when you educate me about this. I like where their head is at to improve gaming, but I hope that they don't stay so focused on just that one aspect that they ignore the rest. Where I think it's equally as important.
Yeah. Well, the other curiosity I have too is, sorry.
Oh, bless you. Bless you.
The other curiosity I have is, will this expand to or have the option to allow you to force it for other things? Like, for example, when I'm doing video editing,
right?
Can I get it to optimize that?
Okay.
Because doing rendering and other things like that, it'd be nice to have that give it a little more. That's kind of stuff I want to have a kick, a little extra kick in the power,
Yeah. I hear you.
So I'd like to see that happen. So can they make that an optional thing? Here are my exception programs. Don't degrade them regardless of what they are. And then here's my hit list if I want you to optimize for.
Right.
Who
I
knows?
like that. They're watching this. Trust me, they're watching.
Oh,
this.
I'm sure everybody in Redmond is sitting down right now going, "Excellent, we have ideas." So everybody needs to go ahead and tweet the podcast at Microsoft for us on Facebook, on Twitter, on whatever else, and make sure they see this.
One of those programmers is going like this right now. Computer.
Hello, computer.
Hello, computer.
Please optimize this program.
All right.
So what you got for us, Kirok?
I wanted to talk about, and it's actually an article that isn't. If you actually show the link, it's from 2015. But I wanted to talk about this specifically, and it's about World of Warcraft. And the question I have is, you played it once before, right? Warped?
I did back in the day, any releases, expansions.
So vanilla.
Yes.
Yeah. So the question I have is, would you go back? And the reason I kind of was thinking about what should I talk about, and I went into this is because basically the last 3 weeks or so, I've been bouncing back and forth trying to decide if I want to go back. And so what makes this game still a viable option? It's been out since 2004. And it's still, we're in 2017 and still people are playing it. Some people have left, a lot of people have left, and people are still going back. Sometimes there are people that just go back. Sometimes there are new, fresh people who have just decided, let me try this one. People say it's great, let me give it a shot. What makes it still a viable option? And that's the thing. I mean,
I have the answer to this. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing makes this a viable option. There we go. Thanks a lot, guys. It's been a real night. Take care. Bye-bye. No?
Okay. Well, I'm going to kind of take you through what I went through the last little bit.
Okay.
So when you consider, and I actually have played these and owned some of these, there are a whole bunch of MMOs already out there ever since. There were MMOs before WoW. There are MMOs that have come out after WoW. Yep. Just to name a few, there's like Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn, which was a relaunch of that. The first time they released it, it really bombed, and then they kind of shut it all down and re-released it again. That's why I believe it's called Reborn. It is a paid service. I played it when it came out. I think it was when it first released, and it was free for like a month. It was like a trial, and then you go paid, but it didn't hook me, so I didn't go onto it. Another one, Elder Scrolls Online, was a paid monthly, just like World of Warcraft currently still is a paid monthly. And then eventually, after a year and a half, almost 2 years, they went free to play. Although you can still purchase things in the store, that they have a shop where you can buy things that don't really affect the outcome of gameplay. Another one that was pretty awesome that I got and played was called Black Desert Online. Yep. This one was actually pretty cool. It's always been a free to play, but they have a shop where you can buy stuff.
Isn't Black Desert the one that had like the super crazy customization? Yeah. Cosmic was playing with that in early release, and it's amazing the detail of the character tweaking.
When it first came out, there were actually people posting videos of creation of characters.
Yeah, and
those characters that they were creating were supposed to be simulations of real actresses and actors, so celebrities, which is really cool. It's probably the best I've seen for character customization. EverQuest 2 is another one that was out. I know we were talking. You played this. I haven't played EverQuest 2. I always confused the one that was on PS2, which you corrected me on was EverQuest Reborn. No,
Realms.
I
believe it's Realms or yeah.
And I remember having that on my PS2. Had the IBM keyboard going with it, and it worked. It was fine. It's friends, you know. Another one that I played and which I have stopped playing, is Guild Wars 2. Yep. And so the reason the reason I kind of bring these up is because, you know, now World of Warcraft is in a sea of other MMOs, right? Some of them are still paid, and most of them, a lot of them, are gone the free to play model.
Yep.
And so, why would someone go back? And
Popularity.
yeah, popularity. But then, okay, you played it when it was vanilla. I played it when it came out, 2004, pre-expansions. And even though I played these ones, I was kind of trying to capture or recapture that magic, that first time experience that I had in WoW,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so like when you played it, did it hook you or not? Because it hooked me mostly for exploration. That was the thing I really liked. I like going, hey, what's down that way, and going.
Yeah.
It
No.
wasn't so much raids or anything like that.
Yeah. It didn't. I played it for a little while, and I mean, for me personally, I have to understand that my background came from playing EverQuest One,
Mhm.
religiously, and I during the reign of EverQuest One, we saw other MMOs, Dark Ages, the Dark Ages Camelot, and some other ones come and go, and you see
Okay.
you see the guild numbers in EverQuest diminish because people are running to the other games, and then a couple of 2, 3, 4 months later, they'd all come back, and they all come back. WoW was the first game that actually stole the thunder and kept it. Became the new hot sauce for MMOs.
Gotcha.
So I jumped on board and played it, and it had a lot of really nice things about it. Again, I mean, EverQuest by this point was getting long in the tooth already. A lot of what WoW had were very glittery features, at least at first. Some of the good things were the quest systems were easier to handle in terms of they had
Gotcha.
marks over the heads and things like that, and it was much more player friendly and helped move you through the world, which was fantastic and a far better solution than what EverQuest had at the time. But the problem is, after I played for a while, that glitter wore off. And I realized all it was dumbing things down. That
Mm.
some of those features, like I talked about, those are great features. Nothing wrong with those at all.
Right.
But it just got
But
too simple.
okay, so that's interesting to hear from you because I kind of have that complaint of WoW now
It's
in
gotten
current
worse.
day. Yeah,
It's gotten worse.
but here's the thing, like as I mentioned, I used to play EverQuest Realms on the PS2, and I think that was my first exposure to an MMO. That was my first MMO I played, right?
Okay.
After that, it was World of Warcraft. And in comparison, the two, it just blew me away. The graphics were way better. The worlds were nicer, bigger, more fuller, more richer. So I got like sucked into it.
I'm
Uh,
sorry, I have to interject here, but
yeah,
the graphics aren't necessarily better.
better.
They're
No,
just
they're still
brighter
cartoony.
colors.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it.
I'm just saying the
I,
poly count was still pretty low on the damn thing.
but I can remember. Well, it's one thing to try and remember with your mind's eye, but then actually, if you pull up the game, it's like a probably a whole. But I remember playing the EverQuest and finding that I would go to a ranch, or ranches where you could get like uh, I can't even remember what you could get, but we were meeting there, and it was just like a square box of fence and a building, and that's it. Nothing else in the whole area. WoW wasn't like that. It was like you're in a village, or you're in a
Yeah.
town, or you're in a city, and that was impressive to me. So now the reason I would go back, and I have gone back, stopped, gone back, stopped, and
Let
gone
me
back.
guess. Expansion comes out, and you go check it out.
Usually, yes, but what I find is every time I'm going back, I'm not looking just for that expansion or the new content. I'm looking for that nostalgic, and this is where I am. I fall into the group of nostalgic. Some
Yep.
people fall into the group of the new expansion. It's the in thing. Let me try it. Let me go. Let me play. And then once I've exhausted that, I'm done. It's boring,
Yep.
right? To me, they put in those games way more than I could ever play and complete. I could spend hours just looking for gold, and that satisfies me. That's just who I am.
Yeah.
but guys like myself who fall into that nostalgic reason, over the years, certain services have popped up. So ever since like the first expansion, Burning Crusade, these servers have popped up where they offer people a private server to play, and we've actually talked about this. One of them is Nostralius or whatever.
Oh, the independent server.
Yeah,
They
so
got
they're
shut
private
down.
servers, and they got shut down. There were others, Kronos and Phoenix, I believe, and these guys have been around. I think they might still be, or some of them may still be. But essentially, it was almost like a response to the changes that were made in the coming expansions, such as Burning Crusade and so on, and the Lich King. And my least favorite was what the hell was it? Cataclysm, because it Cataclysm kind of changed the surface, the areas you used to know and love, and it just some of them got destroyed completely, were unrecognizable, and I hated that so much.
I
But
remember the controversy over some of those.
yeah, so some people like me who like to go back for nostalgic reasons were starting to migrate over to these private type servers and utilizing those to get that feeling again. But when you look at the link or the article that I'm kind of read through and gone through, a lot of the gamers on there do admit that they go back into those older games for a number of reasons. One for nostalgic, one for the fact that the game was not as easy or as easy as it is today.
Dumbed down.
Dumbed down. So this is why I mentioned what you said a few moments ago, how I find it interesting, because you said that of vanilla. To me, vanilla was tough. It was hard to make gold. It was hard to get a mount. You had to work till level 40. Now in the current version, I
You
believe you
kids.
yeah, so back in my day, I had to run all the way up the hill and kill those wolves and get those pelts and go back to the guy over there and turn it in. So that's my point, right?
Play EverQuest 1 and then shut up.
So it's like there are a number of reasons why people may go to the private type servers. I think part of that reason is why other people like myself go back to the current version, looking for that nostalgia, but then kind of go away unsatisfied because they don't get it because it's changed.
Yeah.
It's something they'll never recapture, right?
Exactly. I mean, the game has changed a lot. It's gone through a lot of expansions. It's been popular, and it's been popular because it's found that secret sauce again of being a lot easier to get into. The learning curve is a lot simpler. I mean, I will admit, from my experience, when I first started playing EverQuest in 2001, I think it was, the only reason why I could really get a grasp on that game was because I literally had my computer set up next to a friend who has been playing it, and he helped me. Here's what you do after the installation. Then do this. Now type in this. Now, when you get logged in, put this here, run to this guy, say this. Now, again, this is not an apples and oranges comparison. EverQuest was a early on. It was the first real MMO that became like big time. I know there's UO guys don't have a shit fit, but EverQuest was marked as one of the premier one of the premier actual first person ones out there that really hit the mark and got people on board. But it was all the hardcore gamers that could deal with the fact that when you want to go do a quest, you had to know who to go to because there was no mark over their head. You didn't just say hail, and you had to type in hail, and then read the text and then spout back the highlighted text. Oh, blah 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 orcs. What orcs? Blah, 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 blah. If you screwed up, you'd start all over again and go through the whole thing.
God.
It was rough. So when WoW came out, having that more intuitive service and a really good walk-through guidance of it really helped out. Even nowadays, it's simplistic, it's easy to follow and whatnot. And quite frankly, they made it easier for younger people to get into. WoW also has the steam in terms of the populace. It's kind of like, why does everybody use Facebook? Well, right now, really, because Facebook's the only real service out there to use. But it's because everybody else is on it. If you want to talk to your friends, if you want to hang out with your friends, you're going to do it on Facebook. If you want to play a popular MMO with your friends, chances are it's probably WoW that they're playing.
Exactly.
You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
I mean, and I totally feel you when it comes to the aspect of catching nostalgia. I a while back I went back to the P99 private server for EverQuest, original EverQuest 1.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
this was the original server. There was the original game plus the two first expansions, Kunark and Velius, which is exactly where I came in at. I came in just as Velius came out, so it was dead on the exact game that I came into. So I could get right into it, start remembering little things, and it was straight up nostalgia, but it was perfect for me because it wasn't changed or modded. I could actually get the nostalgia fix that I wanted.
Gotcha.
And that worked out well. But that's why you go to these private servers. Coming back to WoW, or for my case, going back to EverQuest 1 now, because it is still there. It's a free-to-play game now. It's nonsense for me to even bother. There's so much has changed. It doesn't. You don't have the feel anymore.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so okay, so the reason I bring this up as a topic is because, as I mentioned, I was like ping-ponging back and forth. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Then I got to worry about paying per month to play the game, and I was like, well, you know what?
That's
That wasn't a
another
big deal.
big thing.
Well, yeah, it can be for some people. I've never really had a problem with it because I look at it as if I'm going to pay them monthly and at least that they're bringing out new content and they're keeping everything working, I'm okay with it. To me, it's the same as Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and maybe the Switch. I don't know. But so I never really had a problem with the monthly payment thing. But going back, so here's what I ended up doing. A couple days ago, I ended up buying the game. So
buying the game?
Yeah, so the game as in I bought the latest expansion. The latest expansion for World of Warcraft is called Legion. The thing that really made me kind of tip over that edge was I had some gift cards that were given to me for Christmas, and then I had some birthday gift cards. So I had 2 gift cards. I only spent $6 on the game instead of $64. I was like, all right, you know what? The game is free. I'll just pay my monthly fee and go. So I'm back in it. And 2 nights ago, I fired it up, installed, got everything running. And it's different than what I remember even from the 3 years ago, because it says when I logged in last, when I was playing it. Yeah, it's different even from that. It's like even easier now. It's like all these things pop up and point at things when you're playing the game and you start as a brand new character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm spending 20 minutes looking for where the freaking hell do I turn this crap off? I swear to God. And it was funny
it could be helpful.
It wasn't hard to figure out where to turn it off. I would turn it off, but it wasn't. You actually had to put in a command to refresh the UI or quit the game and relaunch, and I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So everything still kept hanging around, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get back into it, but I'm doing it slowly and just seeing if I like it. And I got to play for about an hour one night because that's the other thing. I went, got the game, decided to subscribe again to it, and you would imagine getting a new game like that and getting the new expansion, you sit down and play for hours and hours and hours. No, I've had it for 48 hours. I played for an hour and a half because I have real life things going on.
Yeah, that's certainly another thing too. Is like you guys know, I have not been gaming at all lately because I've been doing the renovation here. But God, I want to, and I'll be honest with you. I want to get back into playing on P99 server with some guys I used to play with because it was really fun to do. But even just getting a chance to sit down and play EverQuest 2 a little bit. I actually found EverQuest 2 after WoW in terms of when I finally started. I actually discovered it later because I stopped playing WoW. I didn't want to pay for the damn service. I was already petering off. You keep paying a monthly fee. It's like, God, I haven't done this for like 3 months. Why am I still paying?
Yeah,
what the hell?
Exactly.
And that's one thing that kind of kills me. It's like, well, you know, EverQuest 2 is free to play. Let me go ahead and try it. And I started trying it. And just a little bit of a sidetrack, but I swear to you, I really and truly feel that EverQuest 2 is better than WoW in so many ways. For the depth of it, for the process, for the things you can do. And it happened to be free to play. And I got back into it for a little while. Me and my wife got back into hardcore. And there was probably a 3-4 month span where I was paying the equivalent of a monthly fee in buying trinkets and stuff, because you do in-game purchase.
Oh, okay.
But all the stuff you buy is not going to alter the game. It's not a pay to win. It's all
Gotcha.
like cosmetic stuff and maybe a different mount that has the same attributes as what you can get, but it looks prettier or whatever. But what's nice about it is I could pay what I wanted to, and when I petered off, I wasn't still paying over and over again.
Yeah, and I've done that with WoW, and so
Everybody has,
that's
because
the
you
only
kind
thing
of
that scares me right now. I hate that, and we'll see how it goes.
You peter off, and it's like, And the other thing too is that we've talked about how the gaming age, the average gaming age, is getting older. And that's because all of us young gamers, all of us gamers that were exposed to the Atari 2600, the Nintendo, and so on, are now hitting our 40s and 50s and so on. So of course the mean gaming age is going to go up. And quite frankly, the problem is we don't have a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing to pay $15 a month for a game when all I did was eat, sleep, work when I had to, and then play the game, missing out on eating and sleeping in the process. But paying $15 a month to get an hour here or there a couple of times a week isn't really all that enticing anymore.
I hear you. And this is, I'm actually super happy you bring that up, because this is the stuff that I was battling in my head trying to figure it out. And
it's a real thing. I've got 4 kids and renovation and play other projects that I get done. My ability to play a game really is in little spurts now and then when I have the time. And even then, right now, a little time I have is spent on the podcast. So I really have no time. But if I have a character in a game, it's like, well, I might want to sit down and play for an hour at some point. So I don't want to drop it just yet. And then another $15 goes by. It's, I just spent $15, didn't play that month. But I'm going to do it. This month, I'm going to spend. I'm going to sit down for an hour a night just to get back into it. And then no month goes by. It's, oh, fuck. You know what? I'm canceling it.
We'll see in a couple of months if I'm going to start going back to Elder Scrolls.
You know what? I want you to go ahead and put a marker in the calendar for the podcast, and we're gonna do a month by month update with you. How about that?
Okay, that sounds good. I love it. Well, let's do that. Absolutely. So to close off, there's one thing I do want to say. For that hour and a half roughly that I played, it was different enough, and I don't mean the fact that the game is made much easier, which I'm not a fan of. It was different enough that the way the storyline, because I restarted a new Tauren warrior, which is part of Horde.
Damn Skippy.
And it wasn't, the quests weren't exactly the same, and the way you got to where you used to get to from one little village to the other little village was different, and I enjoyed that. That was kind of new. I was like, hey, this is great because this is new. And I did get a little bit of that nostalgic feeling, so I'm already a bit happy. I'm good. I'm happy with that. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up.
So the important thing here for everybody, who are you and what server are you on?
I'm Kirok, same name as always, and I'm on Moonguard.
There you go. So guys, if you happen to be on Moonguard, definitely look Kirok up. If you're on the wrong side, just go kill him.
They are the wrong side, and they'll kill me. I was never good at PvP. Actually, the server is an RP server, and I want to see if I can stay in character, trying to be that guy.
I love RP servers. I really do.
Yeah. For
the people who don't know, that's role play. You actually be the character. So you don't talk politics. You don't do real world stuff for the most part.
Real world news or anything. Nothing.
At least in common chat, with your friends, of course. But in common chat, you keep it real. Anyways, guys, so let us know your thoughts and definitely give us some feedback. What was that first nostalgic MMO you played? Do you go back to it? Is it still around? Let us know. I'd like to hear a little more about that. I'm gonna leave you guys off with one last little thing. Our for the win that Kirok found this week. It's bad lip reading inauguration day. Now again, I'm not gonna play the audio here because I'm just gonna get flagged for it. But all I'm gonna say is definitely go watch this because I was in absolute flippin' hysterics. This is absolutely just incredible. So if anything more, if you want to find yet another excuse to laugh at Donald Trump, here you go. All right, guys. Quick rundown here. We're gonna do it really quick because we're running long here. But quick rundown for game releases. We've got how you say this, Kirok?
Diluvian for PC on February 2nd.
So if you're waiting for this, it is coming out February 2nd, along with.
All of them are actually February 2nd.
Okay.
All was Awakening for PC.
Looks like a 2D side scroller.
Yeah.
I apologize, guys. We tend to actually get a little more detail for you on these, and we just haven't had the time for it, so I apologize. We also have Fire Emblem Heroes. Isn't this the one that's coming out for the Switch?
I don't know. They did announce something of this. I think they announced this game not for Switch, for Android, at the announcement of the Switch.
Android.
Oh,
that's right, because this is Fire Emblem. Okay, yep, you're right.
And it's funny because I heard other people saying, "Oh, only Android," but when you click the link, it says iOS and Android, so that's kind of weird.
Well, Android's better anyway.
The last one is a closed beta for Ghost Recon Wildlands on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
So if you're a Tom Clancy fan, get on it. Mm-hmm. Get on it. And again, guys, if you have any thoughts, input, and so on, please do let us know. You can give us a shout in the show notes, the towel section below, or you can go over to the forums here and say hi to us at BRGgaming.com. And under the forums, you'll find the podcast section. You can leave some feedback under the feedback, so please do. All right, Kirok, speed round. What's up with you?
Not a whole lot at this point. The main topic, or the topic I spoke about, was really what was up with me. Remember a couple of episodes I mentioned the sausage thing?
Yes.
Making sausages?
Yes.
Italian Sausage Festival?
You gotta be careful with these kind of words. You start talking sausages, people get bad ideas here.
Anyways, we moved it because the weather wasn't agreeable, so it's coming up this coming weekend. We're going to be making Italian sausages.
Not agreeable in Canada?
Yeah.
Perish the thought.
Well, apparently global warming doesn't exist, but it's been pretty mild and rainy up here, so that's all I got coming up. And I promised you a Twitter photo, and I will do that.
And you can keep up with him at KirokCraft on the Twitters. I myself, guys, I'm not doing anything on the gaming front, as you know, and I apologize again. I will I will blow dust off my channel at some point, but right now it's just I don't have the capacity to. So if anything more, I'll try to work on some videos for my moto vlog at some point, because I got a bunch of videos I just need to edit and get put up. It's just, again, time. And if anything does come up, I will, of course, do a shout-out on Twitter, Warpchester Gaming, or Warpchester MC. So check me out there. Anyways, guys, thank you so very, very much, as always. And I really do encourage you to go ahead and head over to ballrockgaming.com and check us out there. This is where you find all the news, updates, and what's going on, and so on. And can't keep up with what the haps is. Half of our conversations and whatnot are on the board, as well as on our Discord. And we're a great bunch of people who are really putting a big drive out now to get our YouTube channel cleaned up and start pushing to get new blood, because we need new people. Part because we love playing with new folks all the time, and we have a lot of events coming up, and the more people we get in these events, the more fun they're going to be, so please check us out. And of course, again, we have got new stuff coming out on our YouTube channel, so make sure you head over there and see all the other stuff we have, including our free play reviews, our monthly rundowns, and so on. So check that out. And please, guys, if you can give us a little love, a little shout out, it takes just a moment, and it really does help us out. You guys are the people that we serve and support in the fact that we try to do this content for you. And likewise, you guys help make it happen for us. And it happens in two ways. One, giving us a shout out through the different avenues you have, from Facebook to Twitter to Votable. You can head over there and give us an upvote and help us out. Shout out, whatever you'd like. And of course, you could also go over to our Patreon account and give us a little love there. The money always goes back 100% back into the group to help pay for games so other players can join us, for events, for all kinds of fun stuff, including
loot boxes.
Yeah, loot boxes and so on. Are you going to do a loot box, Kirok?
I don't know. I've never done that before.
I think it's time for you to go ahead and tell Lindsay you want one.
She's gonna send me an adult one.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I will let her
wouldn't
know you
deny
want
it.
one. I'll let her know you want one. Yeah. Lynn's, make a note. He wants the sexy box.
Oh God.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you so very much. Kirak, as always, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.